Welcome, Johan. Welcome to yet another fantastic week of updates from Sourceful Energy. We are now very near Christmas time, and this will at least be the last, I would say, update before Christmas. We'll see if we can fit anything in together, like in between the New Year's Eve, but it might be the last of the year. And we have some, I would say, interesting things that have been built just in the last couple of months that has been released now. And that's the reason why you are here, Johan, because you have been extremely busy in just development for some time.
I haven't been seen anywhere else, I think, like in, not at least that much that I was before in like things like this, like podcasts and stuff. And that's because I've been building. Basically, it started after we went to Token 2049 and Breakpoint, and then we started building our app because we know now that we really need an app for onboarding. Maybe not like crypto natives, because we have had the web configurator where you have been able to onboard gateways all along. However, when it comes to onboarding the general public, if you are a Mac user, needing to have like your physical computer near the gateway and do the Bluetooth syncing that way has been a hassle. And there is a problem with iPhones, and that is that in the web browser in iPhones, you cannot access Bluetooth yet.
So in essence, the mobile app has been something that we, from the very early beginning, didn't think that we would need. I mean, we had an idea of like, let's not do a mobile app. But we have transitioned that, we need the mobile app of several reasons. And also, as you mentioned, like getting the normies on board, like the non-crypto native people, a mobile app is the key, I would say. So what are the main features? Before you're going to show some
I can probably demo
a
bit, but I mean, basically the first action we got was like build a mobile app that can help in the onboarding phase. So I've been focusing a lot on the onboarding, making the onboarding when you receive your energy gateway at home, and then you want to onboard this energy gateway and the flow for that. And it all started out with like, it's a crypto project. We should definitely have like onboarding through Phantom or Soulflare or Helium wallet or a wallet app. But pretty soon, when we did some user testing, we saw that is a big step for many to like just create the wallet, write down the recovery code, and don't send the code to us. There was like a lot of hassle with just that simple step. So then we said, okay, can we do this even simpler? We still have the option to go the wallet way, but can we do this what we call walletless? So what that means basically is that we are creating a wallet address. We are storing the private key on our servers. This wallet will only be used to holding the energy gateway, nothing else. And when we have a TGE and the user want to claim rewards, they can transition to a wallet that they are in control of. That's basically how it works, right?
Yeah. So the onboarding now for anyone can be done without having a Solana wallet on your end. A user can onboard without a Solana, and that's a good thing. And we also see now that Solana wallets, like I think that Phantom quite recently actually made their app, I would say, really easy for new users. You don't even need to remember 12 seed words and all that. You store it in iCloud. And so things are happening on the wallet side all the time that makes it easier and easier for getting people on board. Everything is, I would say, working in the direction of making it, I would say, sleeker and better for adopting new people. Yes, so before we go into the app, which is for us a big thing, and we also believe that it will be a big thing for new users. But before we go into that, we can just at least mention a couple of updates that we will cover more in detail in the future. But we now have integration of P1 meters. It is already a couple of P1 meters that is being tested and is actually live in the network. And to explain very shortly, what is a P1 meter? A P1 meter is a small dongle, often a Wi-Fi, or I would say almost always Wi-Fi, that you can buy, and you can plug it into your existing utility meter and feed data directly from the utility meter via the local interface. You get the same data that is sent to the utility company, but you get it in almost real time, and you can feed it directly at local level. And there are already many products out there that do this. The market for P1 meter dongles are like, you could probably find tens of these if you Google around of the existing. And we've started integration with them. And this is really interesting because you will, at this point, be able to join Sourceful, and without having solar PV, without having batteries, you can just join in if you have a utility meter that is compliant. And the advantage for you as a user is that, we will reward you for the data that you're sharing, and you will also get a much better insight in your energy consumption. And why this is valuable for not only you, but also for the network, is that the more data we can get from different sources of actually validates the resources that you already have in your home. And this data is also not known by the utility company. And this might sound strange, but they more or less just bill you every hour for the energy usage, but they don't have the insight on what's happening in real time. And they are really interested in that. So this will be a big growth factor and a big update. And I hope that we'll see hundreds of thousands of these being deployed in the next year. At this point, we are compliant with European utility meters, but there are about 180 million, what we believe, compliant utility meters in Europe with the P1 HON port system. So that's super interesting. But now let's go on to the mobile app. Maybe you can make a demo, Johan.
We can do a quick demo, and I hope that you are seeing this like on YouTube, or are we releasing this as a pod, Fredrik? We are not, right? Otherwise,
we should. Yeah.
If we do, and you listen to this, then I will try to explain what we're seeing. So this is the setup is a little bit clunky since I couldn't share my screen directly in the platform that we use to record, but this is basically the start screen. What we see is we have the getting started, and we have the option of pressing the phantom button, or helium soon, or Soulflare soon. So that's just an integration away, basically. We can also recover account, and the get started and the recover account part is like if we go the walletless path. So for like normies, as you said, they will probably just click get started and get going. Those of you who are listening in now, I think most of you are kind of have already onboarded your gateway using Phantom. Then the choice that you will make is to connect using Phantom in this case. I will just click get started, and we get a choice. And as of right now, we have two different integrations. What we have now, we can onboard the Energy Gateway. I can't show it in camera, but I have one here. And also the Solar Edge API Cloud Gateway. And that is for those of you that have a Solar Edge inverter. You can onboard it by, in this case, writing your Solar Edge site ID and your API key. And you can find them in, I guess, the Solar Edge app.
There are guides on how to do this on our website and documentation, and also you'll be able to find it online. But this is something we could probably just mention this, like this is very soon going to be an OAuth onboarding. And we also are like adding Huawei as the next. So Cloud Gateway will be I would say the most easy way for a user that have Solar Edge and Huawei. They can onboard their devices, home devices, without the gateway. and just using the mobile app?
In my case, I will onboard the Energy Gateway. So we click that one. First of all, if this is the first time you're using the app, you will get a lot of enable Bluetooth, let this app find devices on your network, things like that you need to comply before you can get to the next step. It's also that when you plug your Energy Gateway in for the first time, when it's directly from the manufacturer, just let it rest with Ethernet connected for a few minutes to let it download the latest firmware. So the app is compliant with firmware 17.4 and forward, 0.17.4 and forward. And that's also something we can mention, Fredrik, that we released a new firmware update, a patch 17.6 this Thursday. And that actually enables a lot of things that we'll see in the app now. So
yeah. We're going to dive deeper into, I think, the firmware at a later time, but there are so many features that are being added into I would say, the core firmware of the gateway as well, that is worth mentioning later on.
And now I click continue, and in this view, I need to double tap the gateway to start the pairing process. I get my gateway. I click the plus button to start the onboarding. I will also, now it's looking for available Wi-Fi networks. You will see a blurred image since I don't want to reveal my SSIDs. But I will just choose to use the Ethernet connection in this case. Continue. Looking that we actually have a connection to the gateway from the internet. So now we are basically leaving Bluetooth and continuing with this over the internet, with one exception. When claiming this gateway, we are doing some signing through Bluetooth, so that when you claim your gateway, you actually need to have physical access to the gateway. So here we see the first sign of using this walletless approach. To be able to recover account later, if say you are switching phones, you're switching from your iPhone to your Android or whatever, or you lose control of your iCloud account or something like that, then you need to store this access key, because it's the access key plus physical access to one of your onboarded gateways that is needed to recover an account. So by doing this, we don't need to collect email addresses or anything. We just, with this access key and the gateway, you can recover your account. So I would urge you to just copy this key and store it in a password manager or wherever on a note. However, we are also on iOS, we are storing this in the keychain, and we are doing the same on Android. So basically this key should live with you if you reset your, or buy a new phone or whatever, or you reinstall the app after a year. This key should show up, at least on iOS. I think Android is a little bit more keen on cleaning up old keys that are saved in the keychain. I will go ahead. I can still make the choice of claiming using my Phantom wallet, but in this case, I just click Claim Gateway. All of those things that I'm doing now with the walletless approach, if we have done this using the Phantom wallet, we would have to sign those transactions all the time. And this is a news in the app that comes together with 17.6, the firmware release, that makes it so that the gateway can automatically scan your network and find devices on the network. We will rework this screen. There is a wall of text right now. I will make it a little bit simpler, but basically what it does, it does a port scan on your network on available IP addresses, trying to figure out, is this a SolarEdge inverter? Is this a Sungrow? Is this a P1 meter? And so on and so forth.
And why this is important is that we have seen a lot of users that don't know how to go into the router and find the IP address, and a lot of things that is hard is getting, I would say, very easy now. So
you are needing now to set the gateway location. Why is the location of the gateway important?
Yeah, so the location of the, I would say, the energy assets are extremely important as we're working with providing this as a service to the grid, and that's the whole reason of the project is that we're leveraging a lot of smaller decentralized energy resources to the grid operators and the utilities. So they need to be where you say they are. Otherwise, it wouldn't make sense from the business perspective. So yes, the location is important as it's tied into actually helping the grid on the local level. We need to know where these energy assets are. So I would say be very precise on setting the location. And this location is not going to be shown publicly at all. So you don't need to be, I would say, scared that this position will be revealed. But it needs to be, I would say, known for the system. Otherwise, it won't work. So be precise. Don't set it where it isn't supposed to be.
Set it where the gateway is, basically. And you need to zoom in to be able to proceed. This is not my location. This is just some random location I found. So now we assert the location. This is the step where if I would have been in another location where we actually have devices on my network, they would show up here. Now it says no integrations were automatically detected. But you can always set them up manually. But you would actually find like your P1 meter, your inverter, if we could locate them. And then it's as simple as just clicking connect in this step and they are connected. In my case, I need to do a custom integration and I have the choice of doing an inverter or a power meter, a P1 meter. The P1 meter is coming really, really soon. It's not 100% finished. However, if we located a P1 meter automatically, you will be able to onboard it. Then you click inverter, and now you need to choose the brand of inverter that you have. And this list is constantly being added. I actually see that we have a new version of Fronius being added, Fronius SF, that is probably different from the Fronius float, so it hasn't gotten an icon yet. A SolarEdge US has been just added as well. So we're constantly adding, and this list will dynamically update without you having to update the app. And then it's as simple as clicking your inverter brand, and then you need, as you said, Frederick, you need the IP address, the port, slave ID. This is a little bit different from different manufacturers. It's lagging, so this is, here we are. This is what you need to provide for adding a Sungrow in this case. When
and this
that
is just
done,
this is the advanced interface. So if you
basically
would be able to scan and then find it, a lot of these things are unneeded. So that was the advanced options if you want to manually add things.
Yep. And I will actually switch to, so we have just a brief overview of the app. This will be the home page. This is where you will see your production. You will be able, I guess, to pin which DIR you want to be presented first, things like that. This should be like, you should be able to just open the app, see your production, see vital signs right away, because, I guess, Frederick, you have other apps for this. You know what is important that you actually want to look at every day, probably production, things like that. That will be showing here soon. Of course, being a crypto project, the rewards are always interesting. So we have the rewards. You can go in and see how many rewards you have. You can see them for every gateway that you have. This is the one I just onboarded. And coming soon is also notifications. We have identified that notifications is probably something that we need really, really quick. So you get a notification if something is up with your installation, that, it seems to producing less than it's supposed compared to others. There seems to be something wrong, you're offline, whatever. You will get notifications. And then we have the menu. You can open it by clicking the button top or just dragging. And there are not much here right now. It's probably only the wallet and the gateway settings that are interesting. I will actually go into wallet. Here you can find your recovery keys. You can find your, everything here is, damn it, logging. But here you can reveal your keys to this wallet that we just created for you. And in this case, I will just disconnect from the walletless approach, and I will connect using a dev account on Phantom. So you can see how that works. You get a connection, and then we get this wallet. Oh, I thought I actually had, did I? I probably resetted them at work before I went. Well, and then I need to grant access. And this could be, it's a bit cumbersome, but this is how it works. So when you connect your wallet to the app, we just get the public key to that wallet. So then we know, okay, it's you. But then you also need to grant access for the app to use the Sourceful resources. The app has no access default, so it's just like a view. It has no special permissions. But you can grant access by signing a message saying, okay, I allow the app to control my resources, and you grant that for a year. And when that year is gone, you need to do the granting once again. But doing this, it should, I didn't have any DERs connected to that wallet either. That was a shame, but otherwise you will see some graphs and stuff here as well. So yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, you can do a lot of things on the settings as well. We can see information about our gateways. We can update the location. We can also add integrations. If this was an energy gateway, you could add integration, things like that. So yeah, that's basically it. A lot of things will be added to this going forward. I think integrations, like you said, also showing, I know Victor is working on that, showing like comparing yourself to other owners nearby. So you can see, okay, is my PVs producing as much as my neighbor and things like that.
Yeah. So there's lots of things that will be added, and I would say can be added as well. And we rely a lot of I would say, the early users to come in with suggestions. So we know that we're adding features that are bringing value. That's essentially what we want to do. But we have the platform now, and we can actually, we're in a very good time on focusing on adding features in the time to come. As the base is, like, we have the mobile app, there is the gateway, we have made a lot of integrations, and we have the backend, everything is up and running. And we're at the time when we can start adding features, which is going to be really, really exciting. So maybe you could just mention like the difference between the configurator and the app.
So the web configurator that we have been using, we will keep that one, and that one will be more like our experimental ground. New features will be released probably in the configurator long before they are in the app, just so we can try them out and see how it works. So I would say that the web configurator will be for like advanced users. The app will be for everyone. So we will keep the configurator alive for a while. There might even be features that we release in the configurator and then we scrap and never shows up in the app because that wasn't a good idea. So see the web configurator as a more advanced interface. But then, as we said, you probably need to use it using Android or a computer not on iOS because it's not working with Bluetooth at the moment. And also, just a quick mention about Android. The Android version of the app is pretty much there. The app is built using React Native, so it's a hybrid technology. So basically, it should work in iOS and Android at the same time. However, it turned out that the Bluetooth interface on Android was a little bit more cumbersome than on iOS. So that's what's taking the time. But hopefully in a few weeks, the Android version will be available in the Play Store as well.
That's great. Yeah, so I would say, the reason why we have an iOS app before the Android app, obviously we do like, iOS, at least you and I, Johan, are, I would say, more Apple native users, I assume. But we don't have a preference. And we want to make this application work for all platforms available. So as soon as possible.
Great. So that wasn't that quick of an update, but it was an update anyway. There are bugs in the app. Of course, it's even if it's an app store, it's still like beta. There are edge cases we haven't tried. I just got a report yesterday about someone trying to log in using Phantom and a ledger, and that I haven't tried. So that will be my afternoon project to try to. Hopefully, I will be able to replicate that there and maybe add support for ledgers. It shouldn't. Yeah, I didn't actually think that ledgers would be any different from the app's perspective, since that's on the Phantom side, but maybe there is something that is different. And things like that. There are some broken links. I have them on my list to fix, and there will be patches. And yeah, now we are in the ecosystem, it's easier to make patches, and we have gone through the long process of getting the app out there and through the Apple review, and that has been like, I think, 3-week process, just like with constant updates and fixing things that Apple didn't agree upon, especially with an app where they can't test it, since they don't have any gateway, or they don't use Phantom. I mean, you pretty much just can click get started and then you're stuck if you don't have a gateway.
Yeah.
So
yes. So that was the gist of this week's update, and the mobile app is now live. We're hyped for this, and hopefully the new users will be more hyped than we should be, as it's and that's what's important. So the key takeaways are like, download the app, please rate it with a 5-star review, because that matters a lot for us in the beginning, and also try to be very open for sending in bug. There will be bugs. Please let us know, and we'll work on them as quick as possible.
Yeah, and then don't feel afraid to tag me in those, so I don't miss a bug report. I'm trying to follow along on all messages, but sometimes
and feature requests. So the time now is to add features. So whatever you think is needed, bring it up, and then we might actually implement that. So we have a good idea on what we believe would be the good features to come, but we need to listen into what you actually need. So that's, I think, more or less the Christmas update from us. We have a lot of things that will be happening directly after the new year, but more updates will come. And maybe we could end this with just mentioning also that there are a couple of quests that are going on. So please check in our social media. We are running some ambassador programs. There are giveaways, and there are ways of engaging in the community. And we will also revamp the system on how we manage the community and manage the support. And all these changes are about how to scale, and how to scale quickly, and most importantly, how we can include and also reward the community members that actually push the little extra and become ambassadors. So we are in a very exciting time. So if you are one of those members that think you want to push a little bit extra, or already is doing, we'll actually be able to onboard you in some way so it matters for you. And so that's the very short story. Yeah, next couple of days, Christmas time. So
yeah, and don't miss our community call or open office hours on Christmas Day, because
that will be interesting.
That will be special. Will you be joining, Fredrik? Do you know?
I definitely would. Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
that would be exciting. Okay.
Yeah.
So have a very merry and happy holiday, and remember, your energy,
your power.